Hallelujah. Glory to God. We give God thanks and praise for another awesome night. So we come together to talk about matters of the heart. That is women of integrity, men hurt twice more than ladies. Somebody asked me something today, this afternoon. This is a long time. I didn't hear you talk about the aspect of men hurt twice. I said, don't worry, Dennis is coming on tonight. So not only money matters, he will tell you something about how men hurt and they choose not to expose their hurt or to bring the hurt home because they don't want the wife to know that they're hurting because they're so used to saying I'm strong. Because if they say, now, honey, I'm hurting, she's gonna go like, where? What? And those are the things that men don't like. So they just say, I'm good. I'm just chilling. I'm really good. So tonight, within money, we will go to the room and find out about Dennis. He's just an outspoken person, so don't worry about it. He's gonna tell you. And if he can't, he's gonna tell you, text, don't worry, I'll come back. One thing that I know for sure about him. Good night, Dennis, and good night.
Good night, Tex, and everybody else.
And T, good night. Good night, good night, good night, night. And I think Rebecca is coming on and Veronica is going to be here in a bit. So tonight we're going to continue on with Dennis. And then after he's going to close off that segment, I'll tell you why, because he has something else that I want him to talk about, but it's still going to mix up with funds because we want to talk about the hurt that's going on around the world and people who never exposed to homelessness is in that criteria now. And I believe speaking about this things that's going on now in the world about all the flooding and all the people that's losing their home that never experienced homelessness and experiences now. As from a man perspective, I want to know and understand about how does it work when you have that structure family as a man and you just lost everything. Where does it go from here? From a woman perspective, I tell you, she pull every grain of hair of her head out if she never experienced sleeping under the stars. And suddenly she have to go start sleeping under the stars. Every grain of hair is coming out and the hurt is deep, deep, deep inside of her. And I don't think anybody else going to understand it that way. But for a man perspective, I want him to, if we run that early, we can touch that notch tonight and open up some pages because a lot of people is asking questions. Text, when are you going to speak about homelessness? When are you going to speak about I had it all and I've lost it all? So I think that we want to touch some base tonight. We're going to ruffle a bit of her feathers. Rebecca, good night. I love your earring. You know, I should have put on my green. Veronica, good night. So how is everybody doing? We want to start off now. So T, you're going to open and then we're going to turn over to Dennis for a bit for him to round up on the finances for us for now. And then he's going to start hitting some points there for us. I choose him because he is more out there in the financial aspect than any one of us else. So he would know how that crunch feels right now in this season.
Hey, good night, everyone. We give God thanks for another Wednesday, another program. We just ask that God will bless this program this evening, bless each person on the panel here, particular presenter, as he, share his knowledge, wealth of knowledge with us. And we pray that, somebody out there is going to be blessed tonight. So we thank God and we continue to praise him, to glorify him, to honor him. And we also pray that everything that is done and said here will bring honor to him. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Dennis.
Yes, I want to say thank you to the panel. I want to say thank you, Tex, my sister, and all the viewers out there who have asked for this program and would take notes. I would like everybody to have a pen and a paper and listen attentively. Please, listen attentively. I will start off by saying that looking at the news, it doesn't matter where you go. It is on TV in your face, and sometimes it is hurtful. From Ukraine to wherever you want to watch, in the Middle East, whatever it is, sometimes you cannot bear to see young children going through garbage bags or body bags to see if their mother or father or grandmother was bombed. No drinking water, no food, no shelter. It is tough for a lot. So you're talking about millions being homeless and displaced, but the pain and suffering and the trauma, would linger on for a very long time. You're talking about social decay, because when you don't have the family structure, you don't have a mother, she's killed, or the father is assassinated, or whatever the case might be. Now you have to become an adult fast, without preparation. So imagine yourself living in this part of the world, or Ukraine, and all you see is, more cemeteries going up. There is no hope. There is no hope. What do you do? What kind of life? You cannot be a child anymore. You got to be a man now and take care of yourself. And if you have siblings, there is no hope. Hopelessness usually lead to homelessness. And of course, an association of that would be, of course, substance abuse or drugs. They got to get something to lean on, to fall back on, to ease the pain. Most of them go to crack cocaine. So the dynamics out there is not promising. And we live most of our lives in the future. We could plan for the future, but we can't plan for what passed, what happened already happened. But going forward, we could plan. I normally call it a new world disorder. It's just chaos and mayhem. In this country here in California, and many places around the world, with crime and fire and hurricane and, I don't know, the ice cap melting and floods and, whatever happening to Florida. If you live near the beach, your property is just going into the ocean. Every time a high wind comes around or a storm, it is not nice. Then the problems between the world powers fighting for global dominance. The Bible talks about wars and rumors of wars everywhere. A new world disorder. So surviving in these times it is not for the faint of heart. It is tough on a lot of people. A lot of people, it's hard. We don't have the life we had back then. Things were cheap, things were easy. You could have a woman alone raising a family of 5 or 6 or 7. I grew up with that by herself. Now in some countries, you have a reverse population where they don't make no children. Some countries in Europe, no babies being born. So to get migrants to come in and work. In a lot of European countries, the trend is going backward. You know, they're dying faster than kids are being born. Nobody's pregnant. So things are not looking good. So we are seeing a multipolar dynamic shaping in front of us. It's not going to be dominated by the United States anymore and what is called the northern countries or the global north, the global south, which would be developing countries, you know, Africa and all of that and so forth, you know, decide to shake up the status quo. Africa is holding their resources, their gold, their uranium, the lithium, the gas. They don't want to give to France as usual. So the price of everything is going to go up in 2024. It would be a hard year, in case you guys are not taking note. A lot of supplies going to Europe would not go to Europe. And you know, Europe is tied to the United States. Now we have the war with Israel. Things would be hard in 2024. I'm not going to talk about the stock market and investments and all of that yet. I'm going to touch on that later. Things are going to be hard. So it's going to be a paradigm shift in the world's order. People are going to have to think about multitasking, doing more than one job, improving your skill set, right? Doing a little something here, and a little side job, a little side hustle. You don't know what, because you might have to depend on more than one little job to survive. Instead of just one full-time job, you might have to do 2 or 3 part-time jobs. The way things are going. Add to that, everything is being made in China. 2024 gonna be hard. And when the market started to take a hit, companies will start laying off. Job cuts, I'm talking about. If you lose your job, how do you feed your family? You know what I'm saying? How do you pay your rent or your mortgage? I'm talking about homelessness and difficulties again. It is not easy. So we got to pray and we got to plan. We have to marry the two. We marry a prayer with an action plan. And I talk about that all the time. Okay? It is said that there are 3 types of people in the world. Some of us are doers, we make things happen. We go there and get things done. Some of us sit by and watch things happen. And some of us fall asleep, we don't even know what happened. It is your choice. A shift in just your attitude, your mindset. Are you going to be proactive about your own future? And if you have children, you know, family. Or are you just going to sit there and roll with the tide, you know, and fall behind as the cost of everything just keep going up, you know, you fall behind further back into poverty. So that is the question. Are we going to be proactive and add another skill set? If you are a nurse, it doesn't mean you can take a little course in doing accounting, right? Whatever it is you have, maybe you could drive a little Uber on the side. Do not depend on one source of income. And if you look at nature, God didn't make any animal with one leg. You don't see any bird flying around with one wing. We tend to have one job and sit down, right? It is a recipe for failure, especially in these times. So we have to multitask. We have to learn different things to survive. A little here, a little there, one cocoa full of basket. We say that back in the islands, right? So this is the way to, to prepare yourselves for what is coming. I want to read something from a multi-billionaire, right? Rupert Murdoch. He and Warren Buffett, another billionaire guy again, the way they see life, the way they look at things and make their money, right? Robert Kiyosaki said that the difference between rich and poor people is that the rich people don't work for money.
For them.
They don't. I'm going to tell you what they do. They put their money to work for them. Right? They put their money to work for them and they collect passive income. If you invest in an Airbnb, you get rent every month, money coming in. And if you have a few of that, you're good. You could hang up. That's it. Money coming in. You rent, you get rental income, passive income stream. That is what the wealthy people do. They put us to work for them, right? The poor, according to Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the poor will never get rich because their goal is just to get a job.
Mm-hmm.
And a paycheck on Friday, they make a little money, which is the jobs the rich people create for them. The rich people, they don't want a job. They look for an investment. And they put us to work for them. So it is a mindset difference. It's a matter of perception. One, the wealthy people, it's not like they're smarter than us, but they know if you have an asset and that asset could continuously make money for you, bringing in income, you buy it once and you just let it make money for you. You could sit down. On the other hand, if you just want to find a job, which yes, you need a job to start, but you don't end where you start. Do something, find a way to, I don't care, own your own company, whether it's a cleaning company or a hair salon or whatever it is. Always try to be a business owner, some entrepreneur or something, and you have a company, you could employ folks now. You become an employer. So it's a matter of how you want to climb what is called the economic ladder, socio-economic ladder. And the younger you are, the better it is to start. Start when you're young, but you could start at any time. Always think about doing something that would continuously be bringing money to you and not necessarily going and sell your labor and your time doing a 9-to-5. If you don't work, you don't get money. If you get sick, well, you get broke. That is not the solution. You start there, you put aside 10, 20, or 15% every month to invest something. You pay the priest or the pastor 10%, you take a 10%, put it aside for investment over time. If you start young, 20 years, you start to work, 21, 22, you finish school, whatever. If you do that for 10 years, you should have enough money to put on a down payment on something. Or if you get married, you and your wife together, or friend or partner, whatever it is these days. right? Always think about investing, because investing is the only way you can accumulate wealth and become wealthy. You cannot become wealthy by working. In our community, this is very hard for us to do because they never taught us. They brought us here from Africa to work. Sugarcane, cotton, and tobacco. That's why Black people should never be smoking. You know what I'm saying? They did not bring us to teach us investment and ownership and we want to become president. No, we came here to work in the hot sun with a lot of blows on our backs. We had to work. But we cannot continue to want to work. We should want to invest and own. We got to graduate and want to own now, from just wanting to find a job. You start with a job, yes. But how many years are you going to work on a job? 40 years? All right. You retire at 40 years. You only collect 40% of your paycheck. 40%. It is called pension. When you retire on a job that you work, you put in 40 years on that job, you get paid 40% of what you used to make. 40. And really, it's not really 40%, it is less. Why? The cost of living doubles every 20 years. So the 40% you think you're getting ain't really 40% because the cost of living doubles. You know? So that 40% is not 40%, it's more like 20. You try surviving on 20% of your income now, and you're gonna see how poor and broke you become. You have to invest. And last program, I talked about risk and transferring risk and so forth, from health risk, in case you get sick, with some of the provisions and all of that. Dying too soon, I talk about that if you have children and you have your loved ones, you know, kids to educate, and you die, you leave your wife in a bad situation. The bank gonna take the house. Your kids might have to forget education now and go to work, find a job someplace in Walmart. You have to prepare just in case maybe an accident, we had COVID, all of that risk, you don't know. Protection, it protects you against risk. You must have adequate protection. That is what the wealthy people do. And not only they do it to hide money, because they take out the biggest protection plan they could get because there is no taxes on it, and they build cash value to pass on to the children. So they game the system, they know what to do. We don't know, so we don't. We run away, we don't. Every one of us, families, should have $1 million protection plan in place. One that builds cash value. You put long-term care and all of that stuff that make you broke when you get old. And you might have to go in a nursing home or whatever, you need some help. You need long-term care. You get it now before you become diabetic or before lupus or Alzheimer's or Parkinson's start coming in. We don't play the game. We don't know the game. We don't understand risks, right? We don't have a financial advisor. And then we pay for it. Our community could never make progress. Because progress comes by doing, and doing comes by knowing. You have to understand the game of money, how the system works, so that we could win. We have to understand that. So as I said, these folks talk about what they do. Warren Buffett, he lived in the same house for over 30 years. He barely knows how to use a cell phone. You don't want no high-tech phone. You don't want no iPhone, a flip-flop thing, right?
Oh.
He owned the same car for 17 years. We jumping and buy the latest, you know, high-end car.
Tesla,
You know.
Tesla.
Yeah, man, we wanted to show the boys we're paying $700 a month for a car that depreciates in value. Whereas the billionaires out there driving the same old clunker for 17 years. Look at sometimes you see Bill Gates with a khaki pants and a slipper in his foot. You think he can buy Nike? He could buy the whole Nike. He could buy a Nike for $700 a shoe, I mean a pair, right? He could buy that. He could buy an Air Jordan for $800 a pop. He could buy, you never see them do that. They have a cheap shoe and a khaki pants. And watch what they eat. Simple, simple. So there, you know, it is a lot. Now you ask me why. I talk about the collective income in our community. I'm talking about the United States. $1.2 trillion on a yearly basis in our community, Black and brown. We don't invest in anything much. We have farmers market here where I live in Atlanta, Georgia. We don't own any one of them. The breadfruit that they get from Jamaica, the mangoes and whatever they get from Haiti, the plantains for the Dominican Republic, or wherever it is, that's in the islands, the Caribbean. Not one Caribbean national here own a farmer's market. We buy gas from them. All the gas stations are owned by whom? In our neighborhood, in our community, by the Indians, and now the Chinese moving in. We buying gas from them. You don't see one Black person owning a gas station. $1.2 trillion. But when it comes to investing, no. Other people coming into our community and the money we work hard for gone out of our community because they don't stay here. Something else to note is that out of every $100 that we make when we work, only 2 cents circulates in the Black community. 2, a penny, 2 cents. Immediately is gone. 2 cents. So let us talk about progress. How are we making progress? I don't think we're going to realize progress with that kind of statistics. And those are facts. 2 cents out of $100. I have a good friend in Canada, in Toronto, Canada, doing a little business. And she told me she was going into work. And it just so happened she met a friend from back in the islands with her. I think they went to school together. I believe she owns a hair salon or something. And she was very happy to meet the girl. Going in thinking that she get a customer. When she tried to open her stove, her place, the girl walked away. She was going to the other person. This is hard. We do it here in Georgia too. And in New York also, and other places too. If we don't support our own kind, and if the money doesn't circulate within our community, how we get paid, so it's gone back to the, I ain't gonna call no names. how are we going to accumulate the cash needed or necessary to move our people forward, and so on? How many Black-owned banks do we have to loan money on soft interest? So somebody wanting to open, I don't know, something, to get a little loan to start a business. Because when they go to Chase Bank and all of that, they tell you have Black people credit, your score not 700 plus, right? And all of that. You have a late payment here, a late payment there, they deny you. It is part of redlining. Because when you're Black, you're not supposed to get investment money. It is part of the process. Before they used to use certain area codes, certain zones, they're not giving you money because they don't want a Black person come there. That neighborhood has to stay white. So all the tricks in the book. So what we have to do, our emancipation is on the economic front. We are only going to be free when we are financially free. In other words, that is it. Our emancipation is on the financial front. Because when there is money, money buy power. There are certain communities in Brooklyn, they could break the law, park the car where they want all day long. During COVID, they're not wearing no mask. You can't tell them nothing. They're in the park doing all the different religious services. Police can't arrest them. They're fighting with the police, not one going to jail. They got the money. I don't need to call name. But a Black person like me, maybe me and my son, we gone, handcuffed. Money talks. They could bribe a judge, bribe a prosecutor. They bribe all the politicians out there anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. Money talks. So economics. As long as we in the Black community don't have economic clout, we don't have respect. They would never respect it. So all the violence with the police on young Black men, and they treat us anyhow, they shooting us and all of that, we don't have economic clout. So they could do what they want. When they go to these people that are breaking the law, they're running red light, they're doing all kind of stuff, they get a slap on the wrist. Okay, you're going, no problem. I had to school my son how to sit if the police pull you. Don't move, stay straight. Leave your hand up on the steering wheel. 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock, your two hands, 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Sure.
Don't move, don't make no funny because you're getting a bullet. As a young Black guy, 18 years old. These folks could get out and fight with the police, they don't get shot.
It's so
Money. You know, it is what it is. So it's a different world for us, as I said, as long as we remain at the bottom here and we don't make the necessary changes, we would never get respect. We could say Black Lives Matter until we get blue in the face. Make no sense, no difference. So if you have any question out there, I'll take a few questions and we can talk some.
So one of the question someone asked when you was here the last time, you talked about using a portion of your insurance as an investment.
Oh.
So that person have 184,054. How much can they take out of that to invest?
All right. So they have what you call cash value, right? So they have a program that were invested over time. They could take everything off. Your cash value is your money. Because what we advise at a certain age, you have, let's say, $700, $800 $800,000 in cash value. You don't need to pay no insurance, no policy. Stop and enjoy life. Travel. Go Jamaica, go Mexico, go Aruba, wherever you want to go. Your cash value is sufficient to carry you through. Right? You don't need to pay no more, not a cent. We just wanted you to accumulate enough money so that you could have a high lifestyle. You're financially independent. You already reached what is called, last time I talked about your financial independence number, your FIN, and all of that. That is what we're talking about. So your cash value is your money. What we tell people to do, just like you have a house and you have equity, that is your equity. Take that and plow that into some investment. Now, you could take that and have an immediate annuity. In other words, you take 500,000 and we would put that into a program, or maybe 250. We put that in a program where immediately we have programs where you could get 25, 30% bonus. So that money that you talk about there, immediately you could get a 30% bonus. You leave it there and it double and triple again for you. And within, let's say, 5 years or so. But sometimes if you want to do an immediate annuity, you tell them, okay, I'm giving you, let's say 400, 500,000 now, but I want $10,000 a month for the rest of my life. And you add your wife just in case, survivorship. If I die before her, then pay her for the rest of her life. We even have programs that if you still have sufficient money remaining, you could designate some other beneficiary. It is so good and so, you know, compared to many, many, many years ago, decades ago, the way insurance was an investment, it is totally different. So tell them, whatever they're gonna do with their money, they have to get a bonus. Because most companies don't have that. Our company have that. You get a bonus and not 10% or 15% bonus. Immediately, immediate bonus. And your money continue to build with compound interest with your bonus. So you're talking about serious money here now. Give them my number, have them call me, and I'll walk them through the things they need to do. But the smartest move you can make is to do an investment where you get compound interest. The compound interest is going to build cash value for you. And you don't have to pay no tax to Uncle Sam.
She's on, so she's listening. So the other, the other question is, she's not on GemFM, she's on the Messenger, not this one here. She says, but if I invest now, if I take it out now to invest, what will happen to my long-term care?
Nothing.
Debt benefit package.
No, the cash value is separate from your debt benefit. So let me explain. If you have $1 million policy, you have $1 million debt benefit policy. Debt, cash value or no cash value is still $1 million. If 2 months or 3 months, you take out the policy, you pay your first premium, it is acceptable, and you get delivery, you sign, yes, the insurance company is on the hook. I can't hit you down the street, whatever, accident or whatever. They have to pay the $1 million, cash value or no cash value. Let's say 5, 6, 10 years, 15 years, whatever, you build up 600,000 cash value. That 600,000 cash value Has nothing to do with your death benefit. If you did not take it out and you were to die, your kids, your beneficiary, your husband would get the death benefit plus the cash value. So you kill two birds with one stone. All right? If you take out the cash value, then of course, whatever you take out, if you have anything left or whatever, but you still have your death benefit. It has nothing to do with the death benefit. So you could pull, which is what a lot of people do, and we advise them. Let's say you don't want to take equity from your house and put another second mortgage on your house, right? So we encourage folks at a young age, to be smart. We teach them what to do. You could always use that cash value and invest. You buy a daycare for your daughter. Or you invest in some, I don't know, modeling, some studio, anything, whatever it is. Or you could take it and buy some houses. Some fixer-upper. You sell, you buy 2 more. You sell, you buy 4. You sell, you buy 8 again. And keep moving and keep going. Buy a gas station or something. So your cash value should not be dead money. You just live there. It is called an opportunity cost. You're wasting time with it. Don't leave it sit there and collect moss. You're not doing anything. You have a lot of folks who have a house. They came in this country a long time ago when houses were nothing. They have a mile of equity. In fact, they pay for the house. The house valued $1.5 million in Brooklyn or wherever. And they still would not take, let's say, $1 million and buy 5 more houses.
Oh.
Give each one, the children a house and the equity again, and keep it going like that. A multiplier effect. So if your vision is long and you could see deep into the future, you're going to be a success story. Whoever it is listening to me, I don't know how, but just have all of that there and doing nothing with it. It is not benefiting you in the long run. You are a multi-millionaire, but you don't know it. You don't know it. So that cash value, even if you were to invest in gold, late last year, I had a gentleman, big guy working for DeKalb County. He listens to me all the time, and I was telling him, the way the market is going, it is good to go into commodities and try to get into precious metals and all of that.
Yeah.
The pressure on the dollar, the US dollar,
Mhm.
and the BRICS nations coming into being and blah, 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 whole 9 yards. He has made, well, I'm tired. He take me to lunch all the time. And I'm like, every minute I have to go eat with you. But the amount of money he made out of purchasing gold, and look at where gold was 2 years ago compared to where the price of gold is now. So let's suppose you had removed 100,000 or 200,000, whatever, and buy some gold with that. Think of where you would be with the appreciation in price. So you're a millionaire and you don't know you're a millionaire. But don't you let the money sit there, you're gonna collect moss. Nothing happening to it. Just like the older folks who came from the islands years ago when they were getting those houses for free almost in Brooklyn. They buy the house and they just sit down with the same one house. Some of them die with the same one house. That one house could have given you 10 houses. You have equity, you pay it off. Pull out some equity and buy 5 more. They build up equity, pull out equity, Mindset. In the land of no vision, what happened to what the Bible says text? What does the Bible say?
People perish.
In the land of no vision, the people perish.
Yeah.
All right, any more question?
One more question.
Just give her my number, have her call me or send me her number, I'll talk to her.
Okay. How long does one have to wait when they start the insurance?
How long they would have to wait
Mhm.
to build up
Uh,
to build significant cash value?
Mhm.
Usually 5 years. Because it works with compound interest, right? So when you just put it in, I have a program I'm gonna bless you with something tonight. It takes, because how compound interest works, you put your principal, let's say you get 10% interest, right? The next year, they take the 10% interest, they add it to the principal, and they put interest on that again. The following year, you get interest plus principal plus interest again. And you keep going with both principal and interest combined over the years. So it's a bundle. Now with a bank, you get simple interest, which is just a straight line. If you're getting, how much you give you? Let's say 1% in the bank, you would die getting the same 1%. Nothing changes.
Mhm.
If you have $50,000 in the bank and they're giving you 1%, you're gonna get your 1%. That's it. But inflation inside and the 1% they're giving you, you ain't getting nothing anyway, you're losing. Compound interest, it doesn't work that way. They add interest to the principal. Then the next year they add that interest to the interest before plus that principal. The year after that, they add the principal to that interest to the other interest that they had before. So, that's why it compounds. So compound interest always arc like a C. And it goes, wow, all that kind of money, boom, that's a lot of money I made. Because they keep adding the principal to all the interest you had over the years and add interest on them together again combined. With simple interest in the bank, they just add the interest to your principal once. And every year you get the same amount of money, which is nothing. So the worst mistake our folks could make is to take our money and put it sit down in a bank account, as if they're going to give it to Donald Trump. He's going to buy houses and golf course and build hotel. You make millions selling them, the bank make them millions, they go and play golf together on your money and they take a drink. And the bank nothing. And even the 2 cents the bank would give you, they report it to the IRS. You have to go back and pay tax on it. It makes no sense. So we are all millionaires. We just don't know it and how to play the game. We don't know. We have to be active with our cash value or whatever, equity. So pretty much it is equity, and plow that into another investment, plow that into something else. You give away to your children and you're good over years. But if you don't do that, you just remain with whatever it is, sitting there doing nothing. And you could be a multi filthy rich, person.
All right.
Yeah, give me some more questions.
Okay. Veronica.
I love your ideas and how to, and I think you're right. We just don't understand how money works. And I can truly say that about myself. And I think that's where, we're ignorant to that fact. And it makes it harder when you don't know about financing and not financing, but investing. You don't know where to put the money if you had the money. Would you suggest that somebody educate themselves by getting different books on investing and that type of thing? Or which path would you suggest that somebody take if they want to?
That is a very, very, very good question, my friend. And I've been all over the place on different radio stations, I go to churches, talk to pastors and all of that stuff. And I can tell you, I give people advice for free. Without even, for instance, what I'm doing here, you don't have to pay me. When I was a stockbroker on Wall Street, if you don't have $500,000 in the market rate, we hung up the phone.
Mm.
We don't talk to you, right? No, I'm past that, gone. So I'm giving, I will say back, right? Free investment advice. Number one, seek to know. Associate yourselves with people who know more than you. So let us do some psychology now.
Hmm.
I had a presentation I did on psychology. Number one, and the lady who had the question before, the formula for success, how to win. Take it down, please. Always keep an open mind. Be open-minded.
Yep.
That's number one. Be open-minded because you don't know everything. Be willing to learn. Be open-minded. Number two, become friends with those who know more than you. They're going to pull you up.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you are the smartest person in the room, run from that house. They're going to take you down. You got me?
Yep.
All right. Always seek to know more. And that will help you make a change. As I said to you before, some people, you know, I talk about the difference in people and the mindset. Some people are doers, movers and shakers. They make things happen. And you have some that just sit there and watch things happen. They don't do anything. And the others that sleep their way through life. They're going to get old and get broke. They don't even know what happened. Seek to know. Always try to learn. But you would not learn if you are the smartest person in the room.
Gotta be open to learn.
With your
I
friend.
I have another question for you. You talk about befriending people that know more than you. Where would you suggest to go to meet such people?
You have one right now.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
No.
Amen.
You have been listening to me a long time. How long? That's a long time ago, right? A long time now. And I dish out some serious information. All right. But let me just on a serious note, there are many companies out there, financial companies, that teach you the basics. You don't have to know nothing. You don't have to come from Wall Street or know nothing. I think I sent you a form to come in for free. You don't even have to pay a cent. And we teach you and coach you on the game of money, and you're going to make $1 million. Some of, making 100 and something, $1,000 a month. One Nigerian guy that came in my group, he left Primerica late last year. In one day, he made 30-something thousand. He's promoted now to ED. ED means executive director. That means he's well on the way to making $2 million a year. So you're talking about serious money that is mind-blowing. When you don't know, you get involved in companies that spend time teaching you for free. And you get to learn the basics and all of that. After that, like John, little daughter, what's her name? Genesis?
Genesis, yeah.
All right. So she used to take notes. And eventually she started investing and make money.
Yeah.
How old she was? How old she was at that time?
She was 18.
Young.
She was 18.
Right. So if a kid could do that, just imagine. If a kid could do that, and I want her to continue, and she gonna be making more money than the boss she's working for. And you see folks come in this country here, half of them don't speak English. The kind of money they're making, it would blow your mind. You know? I mean, just imagine. I took my son last year to meet a gentleman from Malaysia. He was about 5'4". Oh my God! When they had the war in Asia a long time ago, I don't know, Vietnam or whatever, something with the French and the Americans in Asia, Southeast Asia. I think his family. They were kidnapped by the communists, and he was trying to escape on some bamboo and coconut raft or whatever. And they plucked him out from the sea. Anyhow, he came, I believe, to California first, because there are a lot of Asians in California. Long story short, from not having no family here, you don't have no family here, can't speak English, nothing. I won't say his name, to making almost 19. So probably this year, because that was last year, $18-something million a year. A year. Another boss from Canada came down to meet us in Georgia after I recruited this big guy that made how much $1,000 a day. Right now, without working, he's making over $500,000 a year. He don't need to work. Passive income. We could do it. We just don't know. So how would you know? You have to associate with people who know more than you. Put yourselves in places where you learn those kind of stuff and then teach your children. Pass it on. And that's how, when the Bible talk about, you know, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, the inheritance don't only have to be in wealth, you know. It could be in knowledge too. You pass on the know-how, the knowledge, the wisdom to so it's called multi-generational wealth. But it could be up here. You teach them in the ways that they should go. The Bible talks about that.
Because when they get old, they will not depart from it.
When they get old, they will not depart from it. So we have a responsibility to pass on. So whether it's 1 hour a day, or maybe on weekend when you're home, you do something with your kids along the lines of understanding money or the system work and all of that, investment. And we have companies, my company, we train you, we teach you, you go on the website and you just read this and read about that. You want to know about, you know, IRAs, or you want to know about annuities, how it works. You want to know about a Keogh plan, how it works. You want to know about a Roth IRA, right? You don't pay taxes with municipal bond. You want to know about cash flow, whatever. You click, you read it. You download, you print. If you have a computer, all of that. You educate yourself right there for free. Right? And then you could make an unlimited amount of money. You know, you become an expert. We don't charge to talk to nobody and, you know, educate families. I can't charge a cent. But there are other companies, if you get someone to come at home and talk to you, you got to cough up some big money.
Yeah.
Per hour. How much you charge per hour? We have a system where we do it on Zoom. You log in, you learn anything, different topics. You know, so you just have to come in. Somebody has to recommend you, like me. And you put my agent code and all of that. You put in your name, your address, information, phone number, email, all of that. You cannot be a felon or a felony. I mean, a felon, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, like robbing banks and doing those kind of stuff. So your character good. What you have to lose? Nothing. You have a bright future in front of you, and go teach your children to do the same thing at a young age. I'll tell you something. You invest $5 a day with a child, I said it before, starting at 5 years old, $5 a day, 5 years old. At age 50, that child would have $820,000. $820,000.
And that's $5 a day?
$5 a day with 8% compound interest, not 10 or 12 or 15% compound interest. $5 a day from age 5 to age 50. So that means only 45 years investment. From $5 a day, $820,000 with 8% compound interest. Some investment vehicles, you get way more than that. All right, we could talk about index. I don't want to get too technical stuff with a cap and a flow of, sometimes you have a flow of positive 0.75 and all of that. Leave that alone. You guys don't get, you know. But if you were to invest $10 a day and you want to go back to Jamaica in 30 years, that is $447,000. Same thing, 8% compound interest. You buy cash. When you're converting Jamaican money, you have a lot of money, a couple $1 million well. You invest $20 a day. That is a lot of money. $894,000. $20 a day. How much is a plate of snapper in Toronto?
I don't eat fish.
You don't eat fish?
No.
I didn't know you don't eat fish.
Yeah, I'm allergic to fish, to seafood.
Ah,
I
okay.
think it's between $20 and $30, maybe 35.
Yeah, you can be right there.
40,
Because
yeah.
down here, some places charging you $32 a plate, you know? So in Canada, with the exchange, they might be closer to, 30 something, 40, right? And West Indian like oxtail. We have a big crush on oxtail, you know what I'm saying? Or
I
even
don't-
curry goat.
I don't eat it.
You don't eat oxtail. All right. So as John was saying the other day, you look at your cost basis per day. You wake up in the morning, you eat Krispy Kreme. Or you go to Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, Tim Hortons.
Well, whatever you have up there, right?
Yeah.
Hortons, right? Okay. And some people like the latte, they want the Starbucks, they want the whatever. All right. Lunchtime, you run out again, you grab a bite. Okay, you add that up. Add up what you buy in the morning, you add up at lunch. When you wake home now, you know, well, you're going to bring something home too, right? Because most people only cook on Sundays, right? So that's 3 meals a day. You work 5 days a week, multiply.
$60 a day.
Right? 5 days a week. Let me show you where the money go. You want it?
No, I don't want to know. I'm gonna cry.
Okay, so don't cry. I am going to say, call that now, that segment, the disappearing act of money. So money is like Houdini. Right? Money would play a magic on you, the disappearing act of money. You get paid on Friday, the week before, your pocket full, you look nice. All right, let's see how long it gonna last. Monday, well, first you gotta take the metro. If you don't drive, you take the metro, you take Uber, I don't know. Let's say you take the bus, you go to work. All
I
right.
think the bus for the month probably is $275 something or more than that. I'm not 100% sure.
Right, whatever, right. So let's say 250, right? Let's say 250. So your latte and your whatever donut thing you want in the morning and all of that stuff. Add that up. Even if you like the bread and all of that stuff they make at what's you guys have different name in Canada, so I don't want to
Country bun or
Whatever.
donut. Yeah.
whatever.
Whatever the bun is.
So put a figure there, right? Put a figure. Remember now,
The
Yeah.
$1.90 for the country
Right.
buck.
okay, you have 5 days a week. You ain't gonna eat bread 5 days a week. You're gonna eat some oxtail or something. But anyhow, you have 5 days a week and 4 weeks in a month. So you have your lunch, you have your breakfast, the transportation costs to go to work. Coming home now, yes, you want some Kentucky Fried Chicken. Down here we have Church's Chicken or JJ Fish. I don't know in Canada what you have up there, right?
Mm.
All right, so you need something to eat too before you go to bed. 5 days a week, 4 weeks in a month. You guys calculate. 4 weeks in a month. Right. So that's just on food, right? We
Mm.
don't have like bill, gas bill, no nothing, no utility, no insurance on your car. And if you have a car note, the average car note is $500 anyways. We ain't going there yet. How much we get?
I wish my weekly schedule had those foods in it. But for me, most times I'm eating boiled eggs for breakfast if I eat.
Boys, okay. And what your lunch look like?
Lunch, I usually take my lunch. It's normally something that I cook. And then
Alright.
when I get home, it's like I eat the leftovers or whatever. But very
So-
seldom, like I might treat myself out to dinner or something like that, maybe once per month. That's it. I can't, it's just me in the home, so I can't really afford it. So,
Oh,
yeah,
so it's not you and a bunch of children. And you have to,
no, it's just me, but still,
yeah. Well, I get that, but you know, a lot of folks with their kids and all of that, you know, the pressure. So that is why
So,
in
so in Canada, and per child is $150 a week per child.
yes. So 4 weeks in a month.
Mm. So if
So
you
that's-
have 3 children,
Well,
plus
okay.
include the mother and father alone, just food, $150 per day.
Well, let me tell you something. Tex, you preach a sermon on the disappearing act of money. How money just vaporize in front of your eye. You'll use that formula on the program, on the show. Right? We started with food first. But we know you have to buy gas, you have to pay insurance, you have to pay car note, you have to, you know, those kind of stuff. So when COVID started, and I like the program, how we're doing it simple and easy, and you know, I'm not getting any complicated stuff. You know, everybody could understand. The COVID started hitting us in the Black community real hard first, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they blame us for a lot of stuff. They were, you know, it was really hard on Black people. Oh, we hypertension, we this, we that, we that, we that. We overweight, we obese, we this, we they say all kind of different stuff. But you know, the truth, you know, of the matter, stress is something, things are tough because we struggle. Some of us do more than one job, but some of us just thinking, oh my God, I'm just 2 paychecks away from broke. It is called JOB. You work, the more you work, as you calculate the figures now, you see what I'm talking about. The more you work, where is the money? 10 years on the job, 15 years on the job, 20 years, you're getting old. Where is the money? The money is not growing, only your age growing. Your age going up, but the money stays right there, the same place. Where is the money? You work 15 years in a job, what you have to show for it? Not much. Where is the money? All right? So we have to worry about paying this bill. Oh, we don't pay this one, we pay that one here. Or we skip this one for next month, we owe, we have a balance, we take the credit card and we pay. But guess what? On the credit card, you have 22% interest on average on a credit card. That's why they love to give us credit card and tell us use it and build credit. You're building debt, not credit, you're building debt.
Credit with credit card, you're building debt.
You're building debt.
Mhm.
because the average credit card interest rate is 22%.
Yeah.
But the same bank that give you a credit card, go and deposit money in there. They don't even give you 1%
Yeah.
interest.
Mhm.
But for them, when you use their credit card, they charge you 22. You get fried with your own oil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. You get it, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so we're making sense
And
now.
if
So,
you owe, let's say like you owe $150, and if you
Mhm.
don't pay all that at the end of the month, but you decide to pay $20 a month, you're not lowering nothing.
no.
You're not lowering nothing. It's
And I
just
just
if
said
you
that.
use it, just pay it off
If
and whatever within the same month. But if you go along, they just add in an extra 22 something and the 22. So instead of you paying, they just
Right, and it adds up over time. But
Mm.
guess what? Here is the trick. Here's the trick now. It is called debt roll up. Write it down. That's a concept that they do, and they teach you how to get it. Debt, DEBT, roll up. So this concept, it teaches you. We do that for families with all this amount of credit card, children have credit card, wife, everybody have a minor credit card and debt. You start with the lowest hanging fruit. So if you decide, okay, I'm going to adjust how much I eat and how much latte I buy in the morning. And by making a little alteration, maybe I go with a sandwich, I buy some tuna and I get 2 pieces of tomato and I put a piece of lettuce. All right, so how am I eat breakfast or maybe lunch? So I could cut out, I save $100 a month just by adjustment, right? You take that $100 a month and you say, you know what, you see this credit card thing, I'm going to try to knock that out. You get it out of the way.
Mhm.
So that disappear.
Yeah, you tackle the smallest one first.
You start with the small, so it's called the lowest hanging fruit. The lowest. Is the lady listening to me? She's still there?
Yeah, and she's still here, but she's not typing.
Okay, good. I just wanted to hear
The
that.
messenger page.
All right. The lowest hanging fruit. So you make a commitment, you're gonna adjust all this eating out and buying all it, right? Maybe 2-3 times a week, you make a sandwich. You could get some tuna. Or if you buy some fish, you could fry, slice, broil, whatever. You get some stuff, sweet pepper and all of that. You make a little something and you go 2-3 days a week. So you cut out 3 days a week times 4 weeks in a month. You probably knock out $200 or $150 or whatever. Take that money and make a commitment with it. So then you knock out the next lowest hanging fruit. You get what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So that money that you save, you knock it out. It might take you 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 4 months, 5 months, whatever. Now you have more savings. You knock out the next one hanging closer to that one. And up you go. In the end, you turn on your mortgage now. How much money you pay a month for your mortgage? Maybe you might be able to double it, pay out the interest, or attack the principal. So if you attack the principal, you pay less in interest. You pay more than you're supposed to pay. So if your mortgage was a 30-year mortgage, you cut it down to 20. Or if it was a 20, you cut it down to 15. The trick is get out of debt. Everybody get it?
Yeah.
You start with the lowest hanging fruit. So it's called debt roll up. Once you knock out this one, you go up. You knock that one, you go up. All right, so this is clear, right? Okay, so you would be able to articulate that on your program and teach that concept. People pay folks money to come at the house, the kitchen table, and show them those things.
Oh.
And you could do that. I don't say go charge people money and all of that, but I'm just saying you have a lot of guys would put a suit and a tie and get a briefcase and go make big money teaching people those things, which you could teach for free.
Yeah.
The main thing is our community, we don't know about those stuff, right? They never teach us that in school or no place, right? We don't know. And when you don't know, you pay more. Ignorance is not a virtue. When you don't know, you pay more. So it is always good to, one, be open-minded, two, associate with people who know more than you. As I said, if you're the smartest one in the room, run. You don't need friends like that, right?
Yep.
And always seek to know more. So my company, you know, the training and teaching and all of that, man, look, if I show you stuff, free stuff, you just go on the website, you go in the back, you could learn anything you want to, any topic, like what I just talked about, and get your children involved at a young age, right? The next time I talk, I think I'd go into millionaire children, how certain people set up their kids, or at least one kid in the house, to be millionaires, just to cash value money, which they used to invest and spread
That's what
wealth.
I want to do.
Yes.
Hopefully by January.
You got grandkids?
Yeah.
All right.
So I want to
even if you have your own kid and in the house, or let's say anybody with a family, we're gonna just use a hypothetical next time. And I would show you two things. I would show you the importance of starting now, or when they're younger, right? The importance of starting now.
Yeah, I want to do this amount. Just
all right. So that would be next time. I'll get into that, because if you get too much, then you're gonna lose. So I want you guys to remember what we talk about.
Yeah.
Any question out there?
T, do you have a question? Or Rebecca?
Yes, I do have a question. Personal question as well. I have started. Well, I have a school that I teach kids on the side, art, and so God has been good that I'm able to start building, which is already started. The school is being built. Yeah. I'm just looking at financially what direction I need to take in terms of myself and also for the school in general. Because right now it's basically that's my source of income.
You said you just started building. You don't have students in there yet, right? No?
No, I do have students. I've already had students, but now I'm actually building the school.
Okay. Now let us start with marketing and selling yourself. This is what marketing is all about, right? I don't know how much you charge per child, and I don't know what level your school is. If you attract the higher end parents to bring their kids out there, it has to do with the services you provide. Because we have schools that are up there, you pay a little bit more because, you know, you have good teaching, the curriculum, you know, all of that. And so that's why I talk about marketing. Always try to go above average. Give more. Don't be mediocre. Average, don't pay. You have to be, you know, life is competitive. The kids come in, they have uniforms. The classrooms are well kept. The teachers are professional. They're very polite to the parents coming in. Always remember, optics, very important. Optics, the visuals. So you have a good reputation, and the scores would, the grades or whatever would reflect that. You can demand more per child. But if you just want to be an average run of the mill, like, I don't know, 100 or 200 of them around you, what would set you apart that somebody would take their kid, somebody with good money, and send to your school, and they could send the same kid to somebody and get a better education or whatever it is. So when I'm talking about stand out, average is never good enough, right? Whether it's the outside appearance, a little facility for the kids to play, a swing or a merry-go-round, or I don't know, whatever it is. I don't know, it's winter time, fine. But always remember, life is competitive. You have to outcompete your competition. You get me? So play the mind game. You have to be better than the best if you want to excel in life. You don't want to go with the flow and be with everybody else. You become average. You want to stand out. You got to be better than the best.
Because
All
for now, the thing is, I'm the only one on the island that actually has an art school.
Oh, you're the only one on the island. Right. So you have what is called a captive audience. Then if you don't have no competition, it's you, they must come, right? So social media, advertising, all of that, you create a website or even YouTube, or well, and if it's in the island in Barbados or wherever it is, you know what I'm saying? Put it all up.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, go on, go ahead.
No, I was saying is that for the time being, I actually had to stop getting some students because the space that I had at my house was not enough. So once the school is open, I can take as much kids as much as possible.
Well, you have a good problem. You're growing.
Yeah. There's the only, because a lot of some of the students are not from the French side. Some come all the way from the Dutch side because there's no school, there's no art school.
Oh.
Art school on the island.
So Rebecca, can I make a suggestion to you? Instead of just calling the art school, maybe you can have different I don't know what kind of categories you could have for different arts. Like you can say if you want to learn how to do nature, learn nature or something like, you can advertise like that. Say learn how to do nature, draw nature, things pertaining to nature. Or, for boys, you might want to do like trucks, car, I don't know, whatever. You might can put it into categories.
Well, even language, because you're talking about French and Dutch. Is it St. Martin you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah. One side is, I know, one, and the other one, Francophone and the other. So is it, and the bilingual, all of them speak the two languages on the island, or you could?
No, I have different kids. I have kids who speak French and I have kids who speak English. But they speak, most people speak English, but they do, what I'm saying is some of the students come from French school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, find a niche.
Because of that, when I started doing advertisement, I had a big exhibition. I was getting a lot of people and I had to say, well, I had to turn it down because of the space that I have here. I only had about maybe 10 space, but now with the school, I'll be able to have more children.
All right, so quality teachers, make sure you vet them properly. You don't have a big problem. Once the school is ready or to open in full, you could expand. So be prepared for that. But in the meantime, market yourself so you could get a higher price with higher, I don't want to say poor kids, but if you could get a little, you know, more on the economics up there with the children, the family, they pay more. My son went to magnet school, high achievers, gifted program school, all the top stuff, right? And he never went to anything average, right? Right now, he's finishing Arabia, one of the top schools here in Stonecrest. And you have to be at the top, doing engineering and maths and all them kind of high advanced college courses for his age that kids in college ain't even taking yet. So what I'm saying is, just think ahead, try to be better than anybody else, even if you don't have anybody. It doesn't mean you can't get competition coming in on you and put up a school near to you. So as fast as you can get the completion of that project, you don't have a big problem. Elevate, always think about becoming better. Appearance is very important. Now the teachers who work for you, the same thing, make sure they're properly qualified, right? And they're in tune with what your objective is, to be the best, whatever. So you have to make sure that they represent you and not be what is called a liability to the image you want to project in the community and what you want to accomplish. You don't have a big problem. You have a good problem where you're getting more than you need, but you keep it up. You create that brand and protect your brand. Create your brand. Uniform is a must, right? And even if you don't want to expand much now, but just an ad in the newspaper, if you guys have that there. But just nowadays, everybody have their own website. You have business cards, you put whatever school at whatever.com. People could go and look you up, put nice images and different things, and you're way ahead of the competition. Somebody gonna come in, but you're way ahead of the competition. Yeah.
And before the end of the school year, you might can talk to the school head and maybe have a meeting or a place where people can sign up, the children can sign up for the art classes before the school year end. And then also you can like any scraps of art papers or anything, crayons or whatever you use at the end of the year, if the teachers give away, either throw away that stuff, ask them, can you have it? You can always do something with it.
Even summer programs, some schools, they accommodate kids when they are off, right? The semester, whatever you call that, back down there. And you have programs. So it's kind of part, I don't want to say babysitting, but pretty much instead of being home making mischief, they could come and learn. Because when you go to Asia, a lot of Japanese and Korean kids, they go back to school again. It's like you just stay in school, right? If you have that in the off season, they could come back to school. They could still, learn a thing or two, get a credit or two, or whatever system you have there. But all that will draw the community to you, closer to you, because they know you're there. So if they got to go to work, take a vacation, and they don't want to take their kids with them, they know the school is there. Their kids could go and learn.
Yeah.
All right, good enough. Any more question, Tex?
Good one. I know I had a couple, but I remember one right now. Going back to when you said that, persons can take their cash value out of their policy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would that depend on the age though? Because, well, let me turn this around. If you have somebody who, they paid a life insurance probably for 20, 30 years, and they're at a stage where they're retired, like I say, things will start happening. You may have, you know, little issues, or you have to go to a home care or whatever. Wouldn't they need that money for that purpose rather than using it, you know, to invest? And they probably don't have much time, I don't know, something like that. I mean, if it's a young person, 40 something, whatever, yes, but let's say somebody in the
Much time, you don't know when God gonna take it. But here what I'm saying is, right? The mindset that your cash value should just sit there to make you feel good. That's a downfall. That's a fallacy. And the same way, as I said, when folks have their houses and their houses have a mile of equity, they leave it there. Well, why not pull out, let's say you have 400,000 equity in your house. You pull out 200,000. You buy 2 condos or 2 fixer-upper or whatever. You could even buy cash. You turn around and sell them for $1 million each or 800,000 each. Which is better now? You get me? Having the cash just sit down there doing nothing, wasting time, or what is called using multiplier effect. You use some of that cash value to multiply and gain more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 other properties out of that cash value here. In time, those 6 properties, they're gonna build cash value too.
Right. I get that, but I'm saying somebody hearing you tonight,
Yes.
right, and somebody, let's say in their 60s,
Mhm.
and they have $100,000 in cash value.
Yes.
What would you advise them to do right now? They're in their 60s, they're, you know.
Right. So let's say you're in Grenada, you have $100,000 in cash value. You're in good health. You probably have children or grandchildren, right? So even as I said, when I repeat the text in the Bible, you know, leaving an inheritance for your children's children. Even if you feel you're gonna die and you don't think you're gonna make whatever. In other words, why am I investing for? No, that is not a good mindset. That $100,000 that you have, if you get a property, let's say Dusty Highway or anywhere on Grand Anse, whatever it is, School of Medicine is right there. You fix it up. Let's say you get a fixer-upper, and then you hook it up to Airbnb, you know, and you're collecting rent in US from the medical school or students every month. That is positive cash flow. The interest you're getting in the bank where the money sitting there is probably nothing to talk about, nothing. You pull out that money, you're making a mile of money with that money. You could buy another one and make more money again too. But if you are comfortable and you don't, then fine. What I'm trying to tell you, there is no limit to what you can do with an open mind. You are only limited if you close your eyes and your mind and you say, you know what, my life is where it is. You're just going to live a small life until you die. You're going to die just now. I don't want to do that. I want to enjoy my life to the max, to the fullest. I want to reach my fullest potential. You know?
I was just asking, you know, because like I said, you know, the older people, they might say, okay, well, I need cash to take care of me, you know, probably for the next 10 years. Why would I take it and put it?
That is true. And they don't have to put the whole,
yes.
they could take half. Because what I'm saying to you is the investment would be recurring. It would be continuous. Let's say Airbnb, you would be getting monthly money all the time. It's not like the money go down a hole. The money is making money for you. That is what they have to see. The money, I know my mom, been here in this country, she spent about 30 years, never buy anything. I came here and within 4 years, I bought my first building. I ain't gonna lie to you. I took out about 4 credit cards and max everyone out. And I take that money and put on it. I had a plan. You think I come here to get broke? I didn't come here to be broke. I max every one of them out. And I got enough money to buy this lady was going back Puerto Rico, a Spanish lady. You know that property I sold, I made over 300,000 in it. Right now it's worth $1.5 million. In Brooklyn. And if I did not sell it, I'll be collecting $80,000 a year in rent from that one building. I was able to refinance that building and buy another house in Canarsie for my mom. And I was about to get married. And then after I got married, I built a brand new house from the ground up. I'm just saying vision.
Yeah.
Vision versus a closed mindset. See the glass as being half full.
All the time.
Some people say it's half empty. Yes, Tex.
Leave room for improvement. So it's 9:44 here, and it's 10:44 in Grenada. Somebody forget to tell me, and I'm watching the time, trying to keep things on track. And people forget to tell me anything. So I'm watching the both of them now, and I want to say good night to you see, when Dennis is here, it is so enticing because all you want to do is to listen. He brings so much impactful knowledge, like he just, and your brains just keep sapping and sapping and sapping. How can I just take it all out from him? He has that effect. So we want to say good night. And Dennis, we want to say thank you very much.
No problem.
I have to call you tomorrow, please the Lord, for something so important. I know you can tell me yes, but I still have to tell you that I have to call you.
All right, no problem. Just give me a buzz. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Love you. And we come to the end of this program. Veronica, thank you for coming in. Rebecca, thank you. And T, thank you so much for coming in. So thank you for a good night again with Dennis Childs, as always.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yes.